Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Connie Douglas, and I have a big light in my camera. I'm from Great Stamping with Connie, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Tonight is night number 3 of my annual catalog kickoff. So, welcome, and thank you so much for joining me. If you've been here the last couple of evenings, we're just going to continue to roll through more new things from the catalog. Tonight we have some specialty papers that I want to share with you, and Hues of Happiness is the suite. That's the name of the suite. Happiness Bounds is the stamp. Anyway, I hope that that's the name of the suite, something along those lines. We'll confirm when we get there. But anyway, if you are joining me, do say hello. Let me know that you are here and you are watching. And I am just going to call this up on the other device here and see who's saying hello so that I can say hello back. Go. Oh, this is live. Why do I have I have no, oh, I had no little arrow to say, play it, but anyway, there we go. Hello, Terry. Hi, Donna. Thank you, ladies, for joining me this evening. We're here again for more crafting adventures, and I love having everyone along with me on this adventure. Crafting can be an adventure. Oh my! Anyway, but it's lots of fun, and it's more fun when someone comes along with you. So I do appreciate you being here. Oh, Ginny. Hello, Ginny. Welcome. Glad you could join us again this evening. So let's dive right in, because as we've noticed the last couple nights, the hour goes very, very quickly. So I am going to replace this. There we go. Look at that familiar catalog again. And tonight we have, we do have some more designer series paper to look at. I was thinking, I didn't even pull out any designer series paper for tonight, but we do have some, a little bit anyway, that I will share with you. But let's start with some of the specialty papers. So we are going to head to the back here for the accessories and so much more. And we will find there's so much designer series paper. I don't know that I'm going to be able to share it all with you this week. But, maybe on That's Fancy, maybe we'll check out some more of it on some of our That's Fancy events and things. Judy, hello and welcome. I guess Terry gave you the heads up. Judy, you need to subscribe to my my mailing list. If you head over to greatstampingwithconnie.com, you can subscribe there, and then you will get notifications. You'll get emails from me telling you what's going on and when. But anyway, I'm so glad you are here tonight, and welcome. And thank you, ladies, for answering the questions. Hello, Mary. How are you this evening? Hope you and hope everyone else is having a good evening. Okay, so the other night we looked at this 6x6 glimmer paper, and have not pulled out the brush stroke yet. Maybe tomorrow night. The distressed gold. We looked at this last night, and I showed it to you in a card, but I was thinking I should have. Hi, Sarah. Welcome. Should have shown you the bigger piece so you could really see it. So here is more of it. You're doing great, Mary. That's awesome. You love all the new DSP. Oh my gosh. There's so much great DSP in this catalog. I just, I can't get over it. But anyway, yes, we are trying to work our way through a bunch of it. But tonight we're focusing more on some of the specialty papers. So this is the distress gold, and we did use that last night in the die cuts for the 4 Seasons card that we made. So I'm just going to set that aside. Now, I do not have cards to show you all of these because I haven't had time to make cards with all of the specialty papers. There are so many, and all the other things that we've got as well. But I did want to show you, this is the rose gold. Oh, okay, I kind of wanted to show you, but that's not going to show up very well. This third one, though, with with it has these colors in real life. Like I see those in real life too. That's not just my lighting or my camera doing something weird or funky with it. But there are 6 sheets of this in the package. You get 2 each of 3 finishes. So there's iridescent, which is this one. No, this one. That's why it's got the colors. And matte and metallic. So there's shiny and flat, and then the iridescent. And they're all in that sort of pinky rose gold, which I get is sort of hard to detect on camera. But anyway, we'll move on because that was hard to see. But that's some beautiful foil. And this is very heavy paper, quite thick. Good, really good weight to that, as opposed to the distress gold, as we mentioned. And distress gold is not super thin, but it's thinner than some of the other specialty papers, such as that one. Okay, this one. I'll call upon all you smart and creative, talented people to help me figure out what to do with this. This is so interesting. This is called linen. Oops, you can't see that, but that's okay. You wouldn't be able to read anyway. Linen paper, and it's a fairly thick paper, although it's very pliable. But can you see that? It looks like linen fabric. Like it looks and it feels like linen fabric, which would add just such a really wonderful, neat texture to your cards. But I'm scared to use it right now. Like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do with it. I'm scared to try. So anyway, I may have to play with that one really soon. Okay, and one more for now. This is the pearlescent specialty paper. So it's not like the mother of pearl that we had in the last catalog. It's called pearlescent, and this is really hard to show you on camera. It's not. It's very vanilla in color. So it's quite creamy, off-white for sure. It matches almost perfectly, very vanilla. And it has a sheen to it. Actually, you can kind of see the sheen there. So it's not shiny, glittery, but it has a sheen. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. So I did put this one into a card because I wanted to know if you could stamp on it. And the answer is yes, because I did. So this is Orchid Oasis, and I have stamped it on there. It is possibly not the sharpest stamping when you stamp on some of our cardstock. It's a little bit sharper, I think. This seems to have a little bit of porousness to it so that your ink seeps in a little bit. And it's just ever so slightly fuzzy, though. I mean, it's not, I wouldn't say it's super blurry or anything like that. But can you see the difference in this stamped on that paper and this stamped on very vanilla? This looks just a little bit sharper. But anyway, and this is Orchid Oasis. And these are Orchid Oasis matte dots. So just a quick card that I made because I wanted to play with at least a little bit. I wanted to be able to show you at least one card with some of these specialty papers tonight. So there we go. That is that. Okay, I don't have a lot of stamping to do tonight. Mostly some things to show you and to share with you. I didn't actually, didn't actually plan any stamping. So I am going to go back to the catalog, to almost the very beginning, because I don't actually have this set yet. But this is called, the stamp set is called Cup of Tea. The suite is not in the camera, is called Tea Boutique. And in the suite, we have 6x6 designer series paper. We have cards and envelopes, and then we have stamps and dies. And again, similar to one of the dies we were playing with last night, the Season of Chic, these dies could be used without the stamp set. Now, they are not quite as versatile. You get the teacup, this outline, and a solid teacup, and you get your little lemon slice with some insides for the lemon. The other things, you can tell that this is a leaf, but there is no detail on it. That's probably a little bit hard to see. It cuts out this, but if you didn't have the stamp, it wouldn't give you that kind of detail. There's also a die to cut out this, but of course, without the detail, that wouldn't look like as much. So although you can use some of them without the stamps, it's not quite as well suited as the Season of Chic one that we played with last night. So just so you know, but I do have the designer series paper. So this is 6x6 paper, and it's all tea themed. So we have beautiful teapots in purple. This one, yeah, I love this one too. But here's another one I love. Look at the lemons. Actually, I think it goes this way, but I don't know. There's something about that bright, happy yellow lemon thing that just grabs me. Anyway, I really like this one. This is just greenery. Here are some really fun teapots, and I have a card that I will show you. I actually fussy cut these. I can't believe how much fussy cutting I'm doing these days, ladies. I don't know what's come over me, but some great shapes and some things that are not really too difficult to fussy cut. And you know what? Didn't Mom say the more you do it, the better you get at it? Yes. So I am getting better at it. I have been practicing and I am getting better. So there's some teacups and plants in it. Here's sending you a little message. Sit down and have a cup of tea, some flowers. There's all sorts of teacups. This designer series paper features a lot of colors, but it also has all 5 of the new in colors in it. So if you're loving the new in colors the way most of us are, this is a great pack of paper to get, paper that will coordinate with all of that great ink. And if you're loving the ink and you have a big wish list, you should join my team, because right now there is an awesome special on joining. You can get all 5 in colors ink pads, a pack of the assorted in color cardstock, a pack of the in color 6x6 designer series paper, and a pack of in color grid paper. Completely free, added to your starter kit, which of course is always an awesome deal. So, you know, join, ask your friends to join, get your sisters to join, your cousins, your aunts, you know, just get everybody to join. Let's have a big party. Here is another piece of the paper. This one I really like. Somebody said they really didn't care for this. They thought the teapots looked really odd, but I like it. Anyway, and then some flowers. So there is the paper. And if you flip it over, oh, didn't quite get it all. You have the single color, you know, the more subtle patterns, great for backgrounds and stuff. So lots and lots and lots of choices. Look at all the different colors there. That, you know, this pack of paper alone could cover all your crafting needs because it covers such a broad range of colors. You can probably, you know, have designer series paper for everything you're crafting if you have this package. So here is the, remember I told you I fussy cut? Look at that. I fussy cut 4 teapots. This was from our mystery stamping this month. So I decided that I would fussy cut teapots, and then there, of course, is the paper in the background as well. So there's one of the cards made with that, and didn't write down what this was from. So it's the night when we were doing the embossing. So this, I used a sponge number. So this is Tahitian Tide. So I inked my stamp with Tahitian Tide, and then I used a sponge dauber to put Starry Sky onto some of it. And then because we had it on the Stamparatus, we were able to put clear embossing powder on it. So it is super shiny. And then we have some of the Starry Sky Baker's twine on here. And this, of course, is the designer series paper. And this This is why I love this whole thing. Like, look, it just, it totally coordinates. And it was just by chance. It was, I think when I was making this, I made it sound like I had it all planned, but I don't really think that I did. It was just sort of, as I was putting it together, it's like, hey, look, we've got the blue and blue, and here we've got the blue and blue, and oh, look, isn't that well planned? Anyway, and these are the iridescent pearls. So these are the pearl gems. Can you see that they're iridescent? It's really hard on camera, but they too have a little bit of the color. Uh, so there's just a couple cards with the Tea Boutique paper. There was also, you may have noticed, that in the Tea Boutique, there are cards and envelopes. And so there's 4 of them. So these are card bases, white back and colored pattern front, completely plain white in the middle. These are standard size cards, so they can mix and match with anything else that you're doing. And then there are coordinating envelopes, so you could, you could send them matchy, or you could, mix it up, whatever you like. But they all coordinate. So this is Parakeet Party, Sweet Sorbet, Tahitian Tide, Orchid Oasis, and then there is Starry Sky. Now I happen to make a card with the Starry Sky one. So here's the envelope. I mean, how gorgeous is that? If you got this in the mail, would you not just like you'd be happy before you even opened it up? You could just send somebody an envelope and it would make them happy. So if you get an envelope from me, you'll know I'm thinking about you. Okay, I did actually make a card. So this is like the checkered background, and then this is the Blessings of Home stamp set, and I stamped it with Starry Sky, and then I just colored it lightly with blender pen. Blender pen. That's what that is. Where did it go? Here, blender pen. And I just noticed that I had missed one. Did I see that? So as you color this, it just kind of pulls a bit of the ink from what stamped. And so it gives you just really subtle coloring and shading on this, which was what I was after. So just a little bit of blue hue, which could be a little bit difficult to see there, but if I put it next to white, you would see it. Yes, yeah, this, if you want quick and easy cards, this is certainly one way to get it. But they are beautiful, and these envelopes are just like, they're gorgeous. Like I said, if you got this envelope in the mail, you would just, you would smile just seeing that, I think. So, yeah, there we go. We don't even have to stamp cards, but we will, because that's fun too. So, alrighty, moving right along here. Oh, we might actually get this all in an hour tonight. So the next bundle that I wanted to share with you is Heron Habitat. Ooh, we got a lot of glare there. I need to prop this up, don't I? Where did my block go? Here is my block. That and that. Hopefully that helps. So you love the blues. You know what, Judy? I am with you all the way. I love blues too. Sometimes to the point I have to remind myself that there's more than just blue in our color palette. I should use some of those other colors, shouldn't I? Yes. So this is the Heron Habitat, and this stamp set, it caught my eye right away because we have blue herons at our cottage. And so of course it was like, oh, look, a heron. But you know what? I love this stamp. Just a little bit of a water spot and a little bit of some grasses growing. I love the bulrushes, and then there are dies that go with it. So here is your big heron, here's your flying heron, and here's your bird, and then your bulrushes, and these are birds in this. Oh no, this is grass here. Why did I think these were birds at some point? I thought there were birds flying, but no, this is all different bits of grass you can cut out. Good thing I'm seeing this now. And then here's a whole bunch of grass, and this is sort of a watery, wavy kind of, you can put that on the edge of your card just for a little interest. And then there are 2 sentiment blocks that you can cut out of that as well. And I did something with those, but I don't have that card out. I don't actually know for certain if I finished the card. But anyway, you know, you'll see them at some point. I did want to show this to you, and I'll pull that out. We spoke last night about the season of chic and how that would be featured in our upcoming global retreat, our online global retreat, which is coming up in July 11th to 14th. It's going to run for 4 days, Monday through Thursday, because we know July is a busy holiday time. We thought we would do it during the week instead of on the weekend this time. But I mentioned last night that we have one main suite that we feature, and that would be the season of chic. And then each of us, Sarah from Australia, Terry from the United States, Connie from Canada, and our guest presenter from the UK, Louise, we have all selected an additional set that we will also show and share with you, and will there'll be make and takes for it. So I have selected this one as my set, so you can watch for that coming up in July. But for now, I have a couple of other cards that I have made. So the night we were doing the Stamparatus stuff, I stamped these happy birthdays with hinged stamping. I did look this up. I did figure it out the other night, Tuesday night, when we were looking through the catalog and we were picking out stamps that were two-step stamps. And Lorna said, oh, this set on page 25 says hinge step. What does that mean? So what it is with your Stamparatus, and I didn't even pull out my Stamparatus, I should have, where you move it down one hinge each time and stamp again. That's what hinged stamping is. At least that's one of the things. That's the one that I could find. So if anybody has any other definition of hinged stamping, you can let me know. But that's what I found. So this was hinge stamping. We started with the hinge at the top, and then we moved it down one slot and one slot and one slot. Actually, no, we started here, went to there and to there, and then I moved the stamp and stamped in a different color in between because this is not a large stamp. But that's where we stopped that night. It wasn't a card yet, but now I have finished it. So there's the die cut of the small bird. Here's that water feature with the grasses growing on the edge. And this I stamped in Parakeet Party, and then I just dabbed on a little bit of soft suede just to make the grass a little different color, so it didn't all look the same. And then I have some birds flying, and then I did second generation stamping to get the lighter birds. So that's that guy. And then this was, I think this was part of our mystery stamping as well. I'm not sure now. Anyway, but this paper, where did I put the piece? I got it out. Oh, I got it out and it's still on the table. This was the piece of paper. This is the back of one of the sheets from Happy Forest Friends that we were talking about the other night. I will just grab it. One moment, please. So we were talking about the Happy Forest Friends Designer Series paper, which is this one. And I shared a card that was cut here and sectioned for really quick and easy card. And we talked about using the trees as the background for another card, or you can flip it over and look, there is that pattern. And these aren't necessarily water plants, but they could be. but I thought they made a great background for my heron. So there he is. And you can see here, and I didn't get this as quite as modeled as I would like. He ended up with a very blue body and gray legs and gray head, but he started out gray, and then I was trying to use a sponge dauber to add some Night of Navy, and he turned very blue. So note to self, you don't need a lot of navy to get some blue onto your heron. And then I stamped the water, that little water stamp in the background. My bulrushes, again, you can see here, I hope you can see, I stamped them in Mossy Meadow, and then I used soft suede. Actually, I didn't stamp this. I used a sponge dauber to daub the green on here and the soft suede on the top and the bottom. Super easy to do. And then I used it to do that as well. So there's just another card with the Heron Habitat. But these make great cards. And this is a perfect card for anybody, right? This, you can send this to a man or a woman. It certainly is not a feminine, flowery card. So great for everyone. Okay, moving right along. Next up, we have out here, The Happiness Abounds. Hues of Happiness. I'll have to look it up because I'm going to mess it up. I've already messed it up, right? And I'm going to mess it up even more because I can't find my catalog. Here we go. Back to that. I don't have enough space around me. So on page 108 and 109, and I think we have looked at this before, the Hues of Happiness suite has this gorgeous paper. And then a stamp set and dies, Happiness Abounds, lots of roses, tea roses and Hansa roses, and I think that's maybe a wild rose. To me, these don't really look like roses, but they may be a variety that I'm not overly familiar with. Yes, Terry, I am not giving up on this. I will convince you. Terry had told me a little while ago that she saw it, and it was okay, but it wasn't really calling to her. And so I just keep showing her card after card after card, and all the projects that I've made with this, and she's slowly coming around. We'll get you there. Anyway, there's so many beautiful sets in the catalog. It's hard to choose, but I love this from the moment I saw it. And part of what I love is this sentiment, and this, the font and the sentiment. Wishing you all the happiness you can imagine. I don't know, I just love that. And this, of course, is this, which we shared last night because I love this card. Alrighty, so that is the suite. It has the lovely stamp set, and then these dies cut out all of these stamps. Where? Yes, all of these. I think I may not. I'm pretty sure it cuts small. And then these just cut little edge borders. This is the one on that card from the catalog again. This little torn out notebook page. And then this cuts holes into your cardstock. And I haven't quite mastered it yet. I have to work on it. I've tried a couple times and I'm not really happy with the results yet. So some night on That's Fancy, or some night somewhere, I will show you what I finally come up with. Because I know it can be done. Lots of people have done it. I don't know. I think I'm overthinking it, and I need to just, poke holes in paper and go with it. But anyway, the designer series paper, this, I don't know, this knocks my socks off. So look at the colors. Oh my gosh. To me, this is just stunning, stunning, stunning. So stunning, we should make a box lid out of it. So this is just another little card box. Similar to the one that I showed you last night, but with a lift-off lid instead of a top lid. So it doesn't open this way, it opens this way. And I have just wrapped this metallic mesh ribbon that this has been in the catalog for a little while. Kind of hard to see there, isn't it? Just a single layer, but you can smush it. And this was out. This is great. This is great for so many things. It's great for Halloween because it can look kind of spider web like. It's great for Christmas because it's silver. It's great for fancy because it's glittery. It is super easy to tie in a bow, and it can be thick. You can, have it wide, or you can smush it and make it narrow. You can double it, whatever. Like, it's just really versatile ribbon. Super easy to work with too. So, yeah. Anyway, there we go. That is that piece. Then we have some little tiny flowers. We have some more roses, and this is how we have the hues. Okay, so if you want all the same, you can cut it kind of this way for your cards. If you want to mix and match some colors, you can cut it that way, whatever you wish. Here's one with a dark background. And then there's 2 pages of, I'm going to put these kind of side by side. Lots and lots of roses. You can't see them all when they're side by side. So we've got fresh freesia, we've got gorgeous grape, starry sky, pool party, coastal cabana, daffodil delight, crushed curry, flirty flamingo, polished pink. So we cover lots and lots and lots of colors here, and the dies will cut out probably all of these flowers. I don't do it. Oh, well, except I've trimmed stuff off, so I can't really see. Yes, because I can still cut some of these pieces. These leaves it will cut. Okay, so it doesn't cut some of these tiny leaves. There's a lot going on down there, isn't it? But it cuts all the rest of it with the dies. So you could fussy cut. But if you're me, you're going, oh, I can get those all cut out because there's dies that coordinate. And I don't have to fussy cut. I would rather play with a die and get it lined up around a flower than fussy cut, I think. But I know some of you don't mind fussy cutting things and are marvelous at it. So here is another card. This is the navy paper, and then, oh, I didn't show you the box. Good, great. I'm fired. So on the back, we have little X's in a whole rainbow of colors, and we have rainbow colors there. And then we have, look at these flowers. I really like the dark background and then the bright flowers. We had some paper that was kind of similar to this a few years ago, but you know what, Judy? This paper is stunning. It's gorgeous. You definitely should get some. This is a fun piece. This is the piece that I used for the card from the cover. I keep referencing that, don't I? And there's some more just different beautiful colors. This would also be beautiful for a background. Very similar to this, just different colors. And here's yet one more with some other colors. So beautiful canvases. And these would have all been painted by the Stampin' Up artists. So the artists create, and then they do photography and mass produce. So here's a card. This was from something else that I did one time, one of my Facebook lives, and this is the W fold, I think it was called. Anyway, belly band that uses the stamps and then shows off some of the paper. And Haven't put a piece of white in here. I did put a piece of white into one of them because I've actually sent one of these that we made that night. But I really like how it shows off different designer series paper there. And that's all from that pack. So just thought that I would share that with you. So let's Belly Band back on. There we go. Alrighty. So here's tonight's question. I can even pull some of this back up. You don't need to pick one of these colors. You can pick any color you want, but I will put up one of these cards. And what I want to know is, what is your favorite color of rose? Because roses come in so many colors. I planted a new rose the other day, yesterday, and it's not even on here. I'm hoping it's a Queen Elizabeth, so it will be like a pink, like a true pink, though not a flirty flamingo pink, and not as dark as a polished pink. It will be like a baby pink is kind of how I think of it, but a pinky pink, sort of. Yeah, I don't really see it because these are purple and these have dark in them. But anyway, I planted one of those yesterday. Let's move on. Okay, here is tonight's make and take. And yours may not look exactly like this, okay? Because I took that paper and I cut out all different colors, and you got a random color. So everybody just kind of got a color. So this was Coastal Cabana. I think there was some of those. This is Fresh Freesia. I think there was some polished pink. I forget what other colors I put in. There might have been some Pool Party. But anyway. And then I may have given you this circle, but we don't actually need it for the card. I have it in here in my package. So it might be in the packages. I'm not altogether certain, because I don't think we ended up using this on any of the other cards. But you will use this. So you have a card base that will coordinate with the roses that you have. Okay, and then you should have a larger and a smaller rose, and it may not be these two, but there should be a couple of roses, and you should have a couple of pieces of greenery. This is for tomorrow night's card. See, remember how I told you? Oh, and so is this. You do have this. Oh my goodness. I'm a big fat liar. You don't need those tonight. We're using it tomorrow night. Okay, put those back in your bag. Yes, there's not actually a whole lot to this card tonight, or not too many pieces. So you do have a piece of basic white that is die cut, and then you will have some color coordinated gems as well. These are the these are not new. These were in the catalog before. The colored dots. Totally not what they're called. And now I've lost my catalog again. Oh my. Into the gems we go. Here we go. Pastel pearls. And so there was some of these other pastel colors that were sent out as well. So anyway, that's what you should have for your make and take. Okay, so I am just going to fold this, and then you will want to stamp a sentiment onto here. I thought I put that on a block already. Oh, I did. Look, and I put the block in the box with the bits and pieces. So I am using, I'm going to do this one with congratulations. Still out of the same stamp set that I put somewhere. No, right here. So the first one I did with happy birthday, I'm going to use congratulations because I don't do many cards that say congratulations, and I have needed some lately. So it's like, oh, I should make this into that. But you can use whatever sentiment you want. Now, when you stamp, you're going to stamp towards the bottom so that you have room for your flowers to peek over your circle, but overlap on your white as well. Okay, so mine are fresh freesia, so I have fresh freesia ink here. I just stamp this and hopefully get it straight. Go. All right. Okay, and again, very little stamping. So then what you want to do, I think I can't remember which order of operation I use, but I am going to attach this and then put these on afterwards because it will all be fine. I'm just sneaking a peek trying to see how I put all this together. I made this a little while ago. Can you tell? Okay, so I'm going to pop this up with dimensionals. You don't have to, but you know, dimensionals are always good. So if you are using dimensionals, you should make sure that you have some near the edge of your circle so that the inside of your circle doesn't sink too much. Similar to how we do when we do a whole page, we make sure we've got good coverage so things don't sink too much. So, well, there we go. Get all of these off of here. Every time I try and do this faster, I end up going slower. I should have my garbage pail a little bit right underhand. I don't make sure I have this in the right way. There we go. And I am just going to put this right onto here. There we go. Okay, and then we're going to put the flowers on with dimensionals again. So you're going to have to watch, depending where you're putting it. If you're going to, you can do this flat, and then this would have one. But if you're going to put a dimensional under here, then you want to go double on this one. So you just need to sort of stack your dimensionals depending on where it is, so things lay flat. Hope that makes sense. So I think that I'm going to put one dimensional here. I don't know where okay, so I want this. So this is going to go here, and then I'm going to want double dimensionals over here. So when you're doing double dimensionals, all you do is put one down and take the top off of it, and then just put another one right over top, and then it's ready to go. So if I do this and this, so this would be, maybe we'll put two more over here as well, just to catch that edge. Okay, and this is best when you're doing something like this if you build and create as you go, as opposed to getting everything ready and then sticking it all down one fell swoop. Just so you can kind of tell what you want and where. And once you have your flowers going on, of course, you can just tuck your leaves in underneath. So you don't need to worry about that too much. Okay, so I'm going to go single on these bits here. And then I will go double right under here. So just a little bit more coordinating that you need to do when you're building it like this. But it's not difficult, and the end result, I think, is well worth it. And lots of dimensionals for you, Ginny. You'll love it. Ginny likes lots of pop in her cards. She's on to something good. I'm going to put that kind of like that, because then I can put some leaves over here. And oh, it's going to end up being very similar to what I had on that other card, isn't it? But well, maybe I think maybe. Oh, yeah. Look, it is almost identical. Okay. See, it was a good design when I first made it. Now, this one, because I want this underneath the flower, I am going to go flat here and just put one dimensional on this side. And I could pop all of this up as well, but I'm just going to let this go flat. I'm just going to put a little little speck of blue. See, every now and again, I think of, you know, when I'm designing some of these cards, it's like, oh, who likes what? And I try to get it in there and do it the way you like. Sometimes I get it right. Eh? There we go. And then this one is going to need a dimensional under this edge for sure. Whoops. Try and keep it all on the flower so you don't see the dimensional. And then I think I'm just going to put a little bit of glue under this petal. A little dab of glue there. And that should do it. As I say, because these are all lifted, it's really easy just to tuck things underneath sort of after the fact. So there we go. And then this one had white pearls, so it was white on the blue. These are pinky pearls, which you would see, but I also have the option to put them out here. No, I think I'll put them in the circle. Hey. Actually, these might be just as easy this way. So these are relatively large and easy to grab. There we go. Oh, dear, what happened? That's my phone. What's wrong with my phone? Gosh, I'm gonna pull this off and see what I can see. Is it's plugged in. It shouldn't be a battery problem, but it looks like it is a battery problem. Okay. Technical difficulties, ladies. Good thing we were almost done. Good thing we didn't go the whole, I don't know why. I'm not sure why that did that. Replace the spotlight. Okay, here I am. I'm back here. Tilt this a little bit. And okay, let me do this. I'll show you this. And my picture is gone, but you can hear me. Yes, I don't know what happened, Terry. It kind of looks like my phone battery is dead, but my phone is plugged in, so I don't really know. But it's not the proper charger, it's a cable that I have. So I'm wondering if it just didn't charge as quickly or as well or as something. But anyway, there are the make and take cards. So that's one in the Coastal Cabana and one in the Fresh Freesia. And hopefully everybody has seen that. Love the make and take cards. Good, beautiful colors. I know it's the paper, right? Okay, so sorry about that, ladies. I don't know what's up with the phone. I will have to take a look at that after this. But we got through everything, thankfully. Except I can't see the comments now. What's it say down here? You can see your pretty cards. Oh, good. Oh, good. Thanks, Donna. Anyway, that was all I was going to share with you this evening. So good thing, I guess, because it'd be a little tricky holding everything up to the other camera. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me tonight. There is one more night tomorrow night. I still have, well, there's still lots more things to share with you. There's a lot of things in this new catalog, a lot of things that I love, and I have not, I won't get through everything. This isn't enough time to show you everything that I wanted to, but we have a whole year to work at it. So anyway, we will take a look tomorrow night at, let me just check my notes, cheat sheet. Oh, some more designer series paper. There's a couple more designer series paper that I really want to share with you. And the go-to greetings stamp set, we will play with that a little bit. That is a stamp set that is part of my June class, which we talked about a little bit last night. And I'll have more information on that printed up to show you tomorrow night. But the June class will be 4 cards, and the go-to greetings stamp set will be included in that class. $45 for the class, $50 to ship it to your door if you are not local to Wasaga for pickup. So anyway, that is all coming tomorrow evening. And what, oh, the blue card, that was Coastal Cabana. Yes, thank you, Terry. Love it when you guys have my back. All those little comments down there that I can't see. Anyway, that's it for tonight. Thank you so much for stopping by and joining me on this crafting adventure. I hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you all again very soon. Good night, everyone.